Sonicstate here at Synthfest 2022, and we're here with John from Kenton. I mean, Kenton, always to the rescue with whatever your MIDI needs may be. Now, we've got a kind of a rather large and rather well-appointed MIDI, let's see, Smart Midi Patchbay. So this is an upcoming product then. It's a few months off from being ready. Or?
Yes, we're anticipating it will come out around March time now.
Okay.
It's had several delays, but we think we're getting there now, yes.
So I mean, immediately my eyes are drawn to the fact that there's a front panel USB host there, two USB hosts.
And there's two more on the back as well.
Ah, so we can have four hosts on there. Yeah. Excellent. And then how many other MIDI ins do we have?
So we've got 8 MIDI in and 8 MIDI out. 2 of the MIDI in are duplicated on the, and the outs. Two of them are duplicated on the front. So, but they're sort of, there's 8, not 10, if you like.
Is there any filtering on the MIDI?
So that's the thing about it. At its most basic level, it is a MIDI patch bay, but there's a lot of processing can go on, so that you can change the MIDI note numbers, MIDI channels, and so you could get an input on one input and output it to one output straight, and on another one it could be going out of another output where you could have changed the MIDI channel, the note number, or the velocity. You can put a different curve in it or something. You can change controller numbers to different controller numbers, or invert values, and it's basically got a lot of processing available to you.
We've got quite a large sort of display there to sort of see what's going on.
Yes, actually, that's not quite the final display. The final display is actually going to be a graphics display, so it's going to be slightly better than that.
Okay.
So that's just a character display on there. But
okay. So so graphic display, so that'll just easily show you where your routing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And any ideas right now how much it's going to cost, or is that to be announced?
Well, it's really to be announced, but we've been aiming at about £400 price point.
Okay.
With the way chip prices and everything have been changing, we might not achieve that, but that's our kind of target area.
Now, something else caught my eye now, and this is based on sort of personal experience. We've got this product here now. I think this has probably been around for a while, but it's worth drawing attention to, the MIDI line driver.
Yep.
And so a way of like essentially porting your MIDI through Cat5.
You've got a MIDI in, actually that's an out, a MIDI in and a MIDI out at each end. So what goes into the MIDI in on this end comes out the MIDI out on the other, and vice versa. But this is connected via Cat5 cable. It has to be said, it's not Ethernet, so you can't plug it into your router or anything.
Right.
But
you can just use
it uses the same cable. So if you've got a Cat5 cable,
easily available and cheap cable.
Yeah.
And the advantage being then that you can do MIDI over much larger distances.
You can set it over a long distance, about 500 meters, I think is the maximum.
When does MIDI become unreliable? What distance?
I think with a standard cable it might be 15 meters, 10 to 15 meters or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
yeah. So this is a way to have a nice, reliable, wired MIDI connection over, well, it's up to 500 meters away.
Yes, that's right, yeah. And it's powered one end, you don't need both ends powered.
Ah, that's handy.
So you can power it, well, it doesn't matter. Right. It's got a master and a slave. The only difference between them is the master has the power socket.
Right. Yeah, excellent. Well, John, thanks very much for showing us this. Great, thanks.
Cheers.